Today's talk will be about the practice of gratitude. And let us close our eyes for a minute and bring ourselves to that moment of thankfulness, and inwardly let us put a prayer out there into the ethers. Thank you, Divine Spirit, for being here with us today, in this room, all around us, spinning. May our circle be blessed with your love. My consciousness touch that of the divine consciousness today, in this moment, and in every moment to come. Might we feel this blessing in our lives. May the words and this meditation touch me deeply. Might my channels be open to receive. Amen. So today's topic and title for this talk is Living in Gratitude. And one of the quotes that I received on the topic sheet was, if the only prayer that you ever say in your entire life is thank you, it will be enough. And that was by Meister Eckhart, who was a Catholic theologian who lived in the 1300s. And he was known for his writings that kind of dive deep into how man's spirituality can touch God. So he was one of the forerunners of what I would consider modern day spirituality and thought processes. Yogananda had this to say on the subject. He said, the secret of health for both mind and body is not to mourn for the past, worry about the future, or anticipate troubles, but it is to live in the present moment wisely and earnestly. And if anyone is familiar with Yogananda's writings, it is that is exactly what he practiced in his life. Full attention, full enthusiasm for the moment at hand. And gratitude is what comes forth from that practice. As I was thinking about gratitude, I thought about the Sunburst 12 virtues that we practice. Humility, loyalty, compassion, charity, and there's more. And I also thought about the 8 paths of living consciously, the right nutrition, conscious work and study, and meditation. And I was thinking how gratitude wasn't really listed on either one of those lists of things. And I realized that it was a practice that one can develop and do to enhance the building of these things within yourself, to enhance virtue within yourself, and to enhance the practice of right living, conscious living within yourself. Much like one can practice eating within limits to what the body really needs in terms of nutrition, the practice of gratitude is there to help us exercise our mind and have that our mind connect with our heart. That's, in a sense, what gratitude can do for us. And of course, when I think about gratitude, I think about the people who have lived their lives in that space, in that energy of gratitude within themselves. And I have to say that there's one person here that I'm not going to name out loud, but in my life, there's a person who carries that gift of practicing gratitude very much, and they are an inspiration to me, and it helped me to think on how to portray this topic to all of us today. How does one, what are some of the guiding thoughts on how to live in gratitude? How do we develop this within ourselves? And one of the first ones, it's a little bit tricky to talk about, but essentially one has to kind of step back and think about loss in their lives, because the gratitude is developed by understanding what we have in our lives and how to appreciate what we have in our lives. And so to step back and to experience that energy of not having those things, of loss in our lives, we step up and we see what we really have in our lives. And so I'm sure that all of us here have experienced loss in the sense of somebody that we love passing, in the loss of things that we had materially, in the sense of perhaps even friendships or good friends that have moved on in our lives. And so when you step back, you think of those things very fondly. You see them as having laid good path stones in our path of life. And so one can start to have this feeling of gratitude and appreciation for what they have done and represented and have given of themselves in this life. And so it evokes that within ourselves to come up to the mat, to be able to also do those graceful things that our loved ones have done for us, and the things that have been there and now perhaps have moved on or have changed. And we can also do this with the ones that we have here right now, our friends, our loved ones, the people that we communicate with in this very time of our lives. Stepping back and realizing what all they have done, whether it be groups of people, your closest spouse or friend, your parents, all the things, all the people who have graced us with their lives and in their turn, all of their gifts. Stepping back and seeing that they are really there in our lives makes us want to step up into that field of gratitude and be able to consciously say thank you. People who have gratitude and practice gratitude in their lives stop to smell the roses. They see the good things in their lives and they take note and they appreciate them and they build on that. And as they do, the experience of this life changes in their consciousness. Those of us who walk out on the land, hiking and seeing the changes of the seasons, can appreciate how nature is constantly in motion and how it gives its gifts unceasingly to all of its surroundings. Every flower, every seed is there playing a part in this web of life all around us. Having gratitude in one's life also means that you understand that all the things in your life are gifts. They are not birthrights. And when you see each and every little detail in your life as such, as a gift, you come to appreciate that so much is given as a gift to you from the divine, from the Spirit. And it can be quite overwhelming to really kind of dig into that. People who practice gratitude mention the pancakes. And that is the gratitude for the details, the beautiful things that happen in our lives that are a surprise, but that you are able to take note of because your gaze and your mental door is open for those things to come into your life. How many of us can appreciate the subtleties of the weather changing and what it brings? The little things like the gate, the power gate being able to open and close as you drive through to your residences. Long ago, we didn't have power gates even to this ranch, and every time somebody wanted to come in, they had to get out in that windy gust right there by the highway and open those gates and drive through and close them again, and next set of gates and so on. But even more, like, think about the details about your life. And the last thing I wanted to mention about on this little living life of gratitude is you have to catch yourself not to deny negativity, because in all truth, in the world of balance, gratitude is also being able to look negativity, or I should say that not denying negativity, and being able to understand that things happen. Things happen to us, things happen to our loved ones, things that are not super great the way that we perceive them. But in gratitude, one can see how one can transform them, an obstacle, let's say, into an opportunity. And on that note, I found a quote from Yogananda, who was a spiritual teacher from India who came to the United States and laid the groundwork for Sunburst's founder to develop this community, spiritual community here. Yogananda said that the season of failure is the best time for sowing seeds of success. And because this is the fall and the ending of our long summer and springtime, now is the time to develop and to regenerate those things that we want to manifest into the future. And a lot of times, those things are directly related to the things that were of hardship to us in these last times. How can we build a better future? Negativity teaches us that lesson of always checking in and developing the things that make a more positive future more positive. Not sure if I said that right. But I wanted to express my gratitude in this way that in recent times we had a fire in the backcountry here near the Sunburst Sanctuary in the backcountry where there's pastures and oak trees and things like that. And the silver lining for me on this fire is that fire and this coming rain here will transform those pastures into a much more healthier ecosystem. It will give the opportunity for new seeds to develop and the older seeds to be burnt up. And it'll give the ground more nutrients through the ashes that have been created there in the fire. And in a way, I understand that the land needs that transition, that change. In small doses. And I also wanted to reflect on the fact that the fire was held in check and was, when one drives along the roads out there, one can see how there was like this line in the sand where the fire did not cross. And it was as if our spiritual guides allowed it to be up to that point, and that's it. And it kept everything else intact and good. And I appreciate how there was so much consciousness that helped this fire do its thing, but do it in moderation and only do it in the place where the grass was, because that's very easily replenished and it'll transform our prairie into a healthier grass prairie. So I'd like to remember that gratitude is not something that we can hold on to, just have in our grasp, and then that's it, we always have it. It's a practice, and because of that, it has to be reinvigorated and built upon in the moment, if we can remember. And those of us who practice gratitude, and I hope that in the coming times, people will try this, that they will have this change in their minds, in their head, because gratitude evokes our minds to become more accepting and more aware of the current moment. And it draws in the heart into this practice. We spend a lot of time in our teachings working on opening our heart. And this gratitude practice is a practice of opening our minds, the position of the Spirit coming into us. And when one has this gratitude within themselves, Spirit is drawn into that place within us and resides in us. And we have this higher awareness of what we see. It's not just through the simple mind, but what does Spirit see through our eyes? So let us get into our meditation seat with our backs erect in a comfortable position. Because even though gratitude is very much an outward thing, what I would like to do now is have us pull inward our senses, our seat of consciousness, centered near the third eye, just between the root of the nose, between the temples and sides of our heads, and down from the crown of our head. That seat of consciousness within us, that place where we can have divine communion and look out inwardly, our spiritual gaze into that deep consciousness that is all around us, steady, quiet, and loving. And if we can, see that far distant star in our gaze, that's a beautiful thing. And if we can't, we still set our gaze out there and we invite the divine to come closer to us in this meditation. And as we slow our breath and take deeper and deeper breaths, let our gratitude for this moment ride on our breath to that point of concentration and into that divine energy that sustains us. Every breath, a new chance to heighten our senses into that field with gratitude. We are all on our spiritual path. We gaze into that spiritual field of power, and we stretch out in our love and in our gratitude. That sense of separation, that gap, closes between full connection, full awareness, the divine truly living through our eyes here in this moment. When we open our hearts and we project gratitude like a corona of fire around that point that we are visualizing the Spirit to be, the magnetism of our love cannot help but to draw the Spirit, the Great Spirit, closer to us, to our efforts, to our journeys that we walk here in this life. And for those of us who've endured many hardships in our lives, gratitude and the sense of practicing gratitude in our lives changes the narrative, changes the direction of our path in our lives, and course corrects our direction. Helps us find our way to live a more spiritual, dynamic life. Here's what Yogananda has to say about it. You must not let your life run in the ordinary way. Do something that nobody else has done, something that will dazzle the world. Show that God's creative principle works within you. Let us think about these affirmations in our lives. Mentally say them into that space. I am grateful for my life I am living. I am grateful to be a part of this amazing universe. I am grateful for the blessings in my life, both big and small. I am grateful for my family. I am grateful for my friends. I am grateful for every opportunity that comes my way. I am grateful for my freedom. I am grateful for divine communion. am grateful for the nature that is all around me. I am grateful for my experiences. I am grateful to be alive. Divine Spirit, may you always feel my love. Might I always feel your love. May they be one and the same. All that I experience is the creation. It flows from you, and I bear witness. Amen.
I close my eyes, I still my mind, focusing on the light within, watching the sunrise in the east, in the silent garden of peace. I sit in silence, alone with you. Blossoms of virtue growing in my heart. I feel so blessed. I feel your grace in the silent garden of peace. Purple light, bright star so white, all around me, a ring of gold, silence surrounds me, no thoughts disturb. close my eyes, I still my mind.